Hey everyone, did you know that over 70% of DIY welders give up within the first year because their machines just can't handle real-world jobs? I ran into that exact problem myself until I picked up the ESAB EMP 210. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. This little welder surprised me right out of the box. It's one of those rare machines that actually does three things well instead of one thing poorly. First off, the MIG mode is dead simple, perfect for beginners who just want to tack together some farm gates or repair a trailer without reading a 50-page manual. I ran a spool of .035 flux core through some rusty angle iron last weekend and the arc stayed smooth the whole time, even when I dragged it a little too slow. The 200 amp output means you're not babysitting thin sheet metal either. I welded a 1/4-inch steel plate without blowing through it, which is saying something for a 230-volt machine that plugs into a standard outlet. Stick welding is where this thing really shines for me. I keep a bucket of 1/8-inch 7018 rods in the truck for quick farm repairs, and the EMP 210 runs them like a champ on both 120 and 230 volts. I was welding up a cracked post in the rain last month and the machine didn't even hiccup when the arc got buried in slag. The built-in hot start and arc force adjustments are subtle but make a huge difference when you're working outside in less than ideal conditions. TIG mode is the bonus that I didn't expect to use much, but it's turned out to be super handy for aluminum trim and stainless exhaust parts. The foot pedal works smoothly, and the machine holds the amperage steady even when I'm trying to tack a thin bracket without melting the whole thing. I've also used it to repair a couple of stainless sinks around the house, something I would have paid a shop to do before. One thing I really like is the dual voltage setup. I can plug it into a regular 120-volt outlet for light work at home, then flip over to 230 volts when I'm at the shop and need the full 200 amps. No other welder in this price range gives you that kind of flexibility. The front panel is straightforward, voltage and wire feed knobs up top, process selector in the middle, and the amperage display is big enough to read without squinting. It's not a fancy touchscreen, but it's exactly what you need when you're wearing gloves and your hands are covered in spatter. Portability is another win. At 45 pounds, it's not feather light, but it's light enough to toss in the back of the truck with my gear. The built-in handle makes carrying it around the yard or up a ladder a lot easier than some of the brick-sized welders I've used in the past. I've even set it on the tailgate of my pickup to do some quick repairs while I'm out in the field, no need to haul everything back to the shop. The only real downside I've run into is the fan noise. It's not obnoxious, but when you're trying to listen for that subtle change in the arc, the fan can drown out the sound. It's also a bit louder than some of the inverter welders I've used, so if you're working in a garage with neighbors close by, you might want to grab some ear protection. The other thing to note is that the TIG torch that comes with it is basic, fine for practice, but you might want to upgrade to a flex head torch if you're doing serious aluminum work. Overall, this welder punches way above its weight class. It's not the cheapest option out there, but when you consider that it replaces 3 separate machines, the value becomes clear. Whether you're a weekend warrior fixing up old equipment or a small shop owner who needs a reliable all-around welder, the EMP 210 is a solid choice. It's the kind of tool that grows with you. Start with MIG, move to stick when you need more penetration, and eventually dabble in TIG without ever having to buy another machine. If you're in the market for a welder that won't quit, give the ESAB EMP 210 a look. You can find the current price and all the details down below. Happy welding!